Hey Laker Nation, welcome to how to make an oil pastel value scale. Woo! You bet. And we're going to get started here. I'll take the mask off to make it easier. I'm going to just show you real quickly what this looks like on my piece of paper. On my piece of paper, I'm going to take a pencil, and I could take a ruler if I wanted, but I'm just going to draw a large rectangle like this. I'm now going to divide it into 5. So I could go in half, I could go here, then I could divide this into 3. So now I have 3 areas. I'm going to mark one as tint 1, or tint 2, excuse me. Tint 1, hue, and then shade 1 and shade 2. Now the color straight out of the container is going to be my hue. Anything that I add white to is going to be a tint, and anything I add black to is going to be a shade. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do that now by putting my hue here first. All right, as you can see, I've got my hue down. Now I'm going to add white to the areas that are tint 1 and tint 2, and I'm going to put at least 3 layers of white on tint 2 and 2 on that one. I'm going to add my orange, and I'm going to add it lightly by pulling it across. I'm not going to make it super dark. And I'm going to add some white over the top of that. And then to finish that off, I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to blend it. And as I blend it, I'm going to get some on my finger that I'm now going to add down into this one. And I could pull this one in and add it to it, and I get a nice fleshy color that I'm going to add some white to, and that's going to create tint 1, tint 2, tint. Now to go up here, I'm going to add some orange. I'm going to make sure the orange is good and thick. I'm going to add a little bit of my black very lightly across the first one, and then much more dark across the top one. Then I'll add some orange, and then I'll add some orange. And as you can see, I've created a really nice value scale of going from dark to light with one color. This is a monochromatic scale. Now, as you can see, I've drawn myself a little Manet's Haystacks, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create my sky arch first by putting white down, and I'm going to put it down all across the horizon and make sure that it goes down to my horizon. And then I make sure it's good and thick. And I'm also going to put it on my background, or my first layer in the background. So that first hill is going to get white, and I want to make sure it's good and thick. And I'm going to put some white on the second or the middle ground. So now I should have a good layer of white. Make sure that those are good and dark in there with the white. So the white is on heavy. So I get a nice layer of white. Now I'm going to take my orange. I'm going to break this in half so I can fit it in here. And I'm going to just lightly go over this area with my white. I'm going to start in my sky about right there. And then as my sky goes higher, it's going to get darker. And I can make that nice and dark. And then now I'm going to put some white or my orange in here, and it's going to go on a little firmer. It's going to be a little darker. More intense is the color that we're looking for. And now I'm going to blend those in with my finger. All right, as you can see now, I've blended them all in with my finger. I've got some nurgles. That's where I need a brush to brush those off. I'll have to find a brush. I've got one around here somewhere, and there we go. And I'm just going to brush that off. Now I can put in my straight orange, which would be just like we did with the drawing. This is the area that's going to get the middle. It's going to be a middle. It was a number 3 on our value scale. And that's going to go there. And I'm going to add that in. It's going to be firm and intense. And then I can blend that with my finger. I'm also going to add this all the way across into my core shadow, because I'm going to put black over that, and also into my cast shadow, so that I have that all filled in. And now I'm ready. I'm going to take my brush.